Cheers. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanienadia. If this is your first time coming across my channel, today's video we're going to be doing the pros of doing a master's degree in the UK. Okay, I just completed my master's degree in the UK. I've lived the student life here, I've experienced it, and I feel I have the audacity to do this video. So if you're looking into doing your master's degree or studying abroad, there might be some tips in here that will be very useful to you, so make sure to stick to the end of the video. So I've already done the cons video, but I felt like it would make more sense to drop the pros. We're just gonna jump straight into it, okay? So for a little backstory, I came to the UK in 2023 for my master's degree, which was 1 year. I studied an MSc in international business, and I feel like it was one of the best experiences of my life. I have so many good things to say about my school, so many good things to say about the UK. The first and foremost thing I want to mention is the free application fees for applying to your master's degree or applying to your universities. I'm saying this first because obviously to do a master's degree in the UK, if you're an international student, you'd have to apply to the schools and get an admission first, and almost 90% of schools in the UK are free admission fees. Free application fees, not admission fees, free application fees. When I was deciding on what school I wanted to study in, I looked at a lot of schools and realized, I was looking at schools in the US, I was looking at schools in Canada, and never, not once, did I come across a school with free application fees. But out of the 10 schools, let's say, that I looked up in the UK, 9 of them were free application fees. That's an upside to applying to schools in the UK. You do not have to waste money. So you can cast your net out as much as possible because you're not wasting money. Some US schools I looked up and tried, the application fee was $150, $130, $120. It was never less than $100 in my case. And for some Canadian schools I saw, there was $100 and $100 Canadian dollars and $130 Canadian dollars. So I feel like it's a very good advantage because I was able to apply to tons of UK schools, but only a few of US and Canadian schools because of the money involved. And the currency difference is not a joke. I'm Ghanaian, by the way, I should have mentioned that already, but I'm Ghanaian, and the currency difference. Another point that is a little bit in line with the first one is the school application process with the UK is a little bit easier compared to other countries. Hear me out. Per my experience and the experience of some of my friends, it's quite easy to apply to universities in the UK. So I'll give you a scenario here. So I was applying to a university in the US and a university in the UK. The UK university I applied to, they allowed me to just upload my recommendation letters that I'd gotten from lecturers and organizations I'd worked with, like scan it and just upload it as part of my application and submit it. Whereas with US schools, they want me to provide the email of my lecturer so they can reach out to my lecturers and the organizations. And if you know anything about Ghana, not everybody opens their email frequently, and maybe you really need the lecturer to check on it and then get back to the school for the school to update it on your application portal. It was a whole lot of hassle. It happened, okay, I did it, it happened for me, but it was a lot of stress. And when it got to the transcript aspect, for the US school, I had to go to my university and pay my university to send it on my behalf because they won't send it for free. They'll take the email you want them to send it to and they'll send it on your behalf. But with my UK school, I literally just applied for my transcript from my old university, scanned it, and then submitted it to them. That was all. The whole point of them taking the email of the organization or the person is so that you don't fake anything and it's coming straight from the person. But it's a lot of hassle, especially when you have to chase up your lecturers to check their emails, because you literally call a lecturer or you go to his office and it'll be like he's in Takrady on a business trip. You're waiting for him to just submit the application or submit your recommendation to the school so that you can move to the next stage of your application. It's a lot less hassle to apply to schools in the UK. Another thing worth mentioning is as of December 2023, the UK was like the second destination for studying abroad. It probably has changed this year because a lot of their immigration laws have changed and it has affected everybody that is not a UK citizen. That means it's more accepting of international students. And even though there's a lot of modernization and everything, some parts of the UK just make you feel like you're living in a movie. Buildings, the system and how it works and everything. So the next thing worth mentioning is the postgraduate study visa. I don't know about how this applies to undergraduates, but for master students and PhD students, after you do your masters in the UK, you're entitled to a 2-year work visa where you can just stay back after your student visa has expired to study here. It's not cheap. The price has gone up recently, but it's still something that is very, very helpful if you ended up loving the UK and you want to stay here and work for a bit before you go back home. There's this whole system set up that you can work here a little bit after school, see if you can get a company to take you on to sponsor you, and within that 2 years, that's enough time to work and make some money. It's very short, but yeah, it's a very good opportunity that you wouldn't get with other countries. So that's another good thing about studying a master's degree in the UK. Okay, so this one is for my world travelers. If you study a master's degree in the UK, you get issued something called a BRP, a biometric residence permit. And because you were issued this by the UK government, you can visit some countries outside the UK with this as your visa. Especially if you're Ghanaian or African, and we need visa to enter a lot of places, so it doesn't make it very favorable. But with my BRP, there are a couple of places that I can visit, like Albania, Montenegro, and a couple of other places. For Europe, you would need a visa. It wouldn't have been like that if the Brexit didn't happen, but currently you need a Schengen visa to go to Europe. But there are a lot of places you can go to where the plane tickets to go from the UK to those places are actually quite cheap because they're around the UK and they're not too far. Whereas my Ghanaian passport allows me to go to Tanzania for free and a couple of places closer to Africa. I'm so sorry if the lightning changes. My camera just randomly just cuts me off. But I was saying that, for instance, right now, if I wanted to go to Italy, if I wanted to go to France, my plane tickets would be about just £100 or less if I booked it on time, but I'd need a Schengen visa to go. Whereas I don't need a visa to go to Tanzania because of my Ghanaian passport. I don't need a visa to go to maybe a list of countries that Ghana can go to, but it's so far away from the UK that if I wanted to book my ticket now, it won't be less than £1,000 for a return ticket. Another thing that is also worth mentioning is it's not free healthcare, but healthcare is free because of the huge health surcharge you paid when you were applying for your visa. So in the current video, I'll mention how much health surcharge was for me for a work visa and also was for me for my student visa. But because of the whole hassle of paying that huge amount, when you get here and you fall sick, healthcare is free. Whereas in other countries like the US, I know healthcare is not the cheapest if you don't have insurance, but here you have insurance by force because you paid it when you were paying your application fee. So if I fall sick, if you want to see the doctor, if you want to go to the sexual health clinic, everything is already paid for. You don't have to pay a dime. You don't have to pay anything to see a doctor and get diagnosed or to get something checked out on your body. So I think that's very, very good because even it's a very, very substantial amount. It's not cheap to pay for the health surcharge when you're applying. So that's like health insurance when you're applying for your visa. But after you've paid it and gotten over that and you get here and you realize that you don't actually have to pay for anything healthcare wise, you know it was worth it. Okay, so that's one thing that I think it's very, very important. Healthcare is basically already paid for before you enter the country. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything if you ever fall sick or need to see a doctor for you and your dependents. Last thing worth mentioning is at least, I'm saying at least because in some other countries you cannot. At least you can work 20 hours if you're a student in the UK. I don't know about how that applies to undergraduate. This is a pro because in the US you can't actually work unless it's an internship or is within the school you are studying with. In the UK you can actually work 20 hours to sort out your accommodation and maybe your groceries. It's not very big salary, but it can sustain you if you find an accommodation that has good pricing and you are able to be a little bit low budget with your groceries. That's why there's places like Aldi and Lidl. Okay, so make use of those two places. So at least you can work. And my friend is in Dubai Dubai, and from her I know if you're a student in Dubai you can't work. I did check on Google, and Google says you can work for 15 hours if you're a student in Dubai, but she says she can't work as she is a student in Dubai now on a student visa. Like, the companies wouldn't want to take you on because you're on a student visa. I don't know if that's because you can't work full-time or it's because as a student you cannot work, but at least we can work 20 hours here and earn some money, and no company will say I won't hire you just because you can only work 20 hours. That's if they advertise that the role is a full-time role, but so far as it's any type of job that didn't specify, you can work there. I think this is everything. If I come up with another list and some things come up, I might do a part 2, but let me know if you want me to do some more master's degree related videos or graduate school related videos or UK related videos. I know you guys like my vlogs, but please, I love vlogging, I do, but I want to provide you guys with a variety of videos. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And if there's any other information to provide, I'll put it in the description for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the cons video, which will probably go up after this video. So check that out, the cons of studying a master's degree in the UK. If this video was helpful, make sure to subscribe for other types of videos like this. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. I'll see you guys